It would be great to have someone who could do our work for us, right? Someone to prevent us from making mistakes. Someone to assist with our routine professionally and allow us to devote our time to communicating with our closest people. If only we could get results without wasting our time for nothing. Unfortunately, it's impossible in real life. But wait, Light Forex Social Trading. Spend your time doing what really matters to you.
Good morning, 20th of June 2019, day after Dovish FOMC. Dollar bulls are in trouble, Bank of Japan no change, and we are awaiting Carney and Bank of England a little bit later today. Risk warning, guys, it's important here. Please bear in mind trading effects on margin trading crypto. Margin carries a high level of risk, may not be suitable for investors who can sustain some or share investment. So please do not invest the money that you cannot afford to lose. Seek education, gain experience before risking real money. However, past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Okay, USA. Reminder, we are going to cover Bank of England live here on Light Forex Global YouTube channel, so you're more than welcome to join me 1:45 p.m. CET, 15 minutes ahead of the event. All right, we are 12 hours right now after the FOMC. Frankly, it was a dovish. Personally, I didn't expect that dovish comments. Anyway, we are going through the charts. We are going to look at the charts from the bulls and the bears perspective as usual. Let's start with dollar index. Let's start with dollar index. There you go. That's the weekly chart. That's the weekly chart. We still have, let's start with bulls perspective. We still have the trend line over here, right? So 2 weeks ago there was attempt to break the trend line. Last week, strong recovery. What is important that we took out and closed above the mid-May weekly range, right? So it was quite strong development. Of course, yesterday FOMC, and now, to be honest with you, now it's gonna look very, very interesting where we are going to be tomorrow, where the last tick is gonna be tomorrow. Now, we have to remember, and we were discussing this yesterday, day before, we have to remember that we are approaching end of the quarter, end of the first half of the year, end of the month. So there are going to be the rebalancing inside the different portfolios. So you know, it's gonna be very interesting to see if the managers are dumping dollar, or maybe they will try to buy into the end of the first half of the year, quarter, month. We'll see. In case, from the bulls perspective, in case they want to survive, they should start to look around for the possibility to try to jump in, step in, and push the dollar from here a little bit higher, right, based on this trend line. Now let's focus on bears that time. Now we have nice setup over here, and in case we are going to close here or a little bit lower, but still above previous week low and the week before low, right? We are going to have a low, higher low, and third higher low. Perfect. In that case, based on what we have overall here, perfect setup to be short dollar, to be honest with you. That's the first scenario, right? So let me point this out here. Low, higher low, and if we are going to create the higher low, it's gonna be like, you know, lower shadow, lower shadow, lower shadow. You can create the trend line, and then the fourth is the breakdown, right? That's first possibility. The second possibility, from the bear's perspective, it's a continuation of dollar selling towards the end of the week, right? And closing below 96.40. That would be huge development. Then next week, so in case this candle is going to looks like this, right? Full breakdown, lowest close. Then the next week, retest of 96.80 and continuation to the downside. Okay, that's how it looks on the dollar, from the dollar perspective, from the weekly chart, from the bulls and bears perspective. So for bulls is all about the current levels. It's all about if it's possible to turn around here and try to push prices higher. It's gonna be very, very tough. Why? Because we have midweek reversal on euro dollar, we have midweek reversal on the pound USD. So dollar bulls are in real trouble, are in danger, right? Here. So let's get back to platform. Let's have a look what we have on particular crosses, euro dollar pound majors. Let's have a look. All right, so let's start with euro dollar, and as you can see, that's the daily chart of the euro dollar. And maybe someone should call Mr. Draghi. Maybe someone should call Mr. Draghi here, right? Anyway, what is all about? If you remember our deep analysis we did on Tuesday, right? So we were talking about the quarter possible candle and monthly candle, right? And we agreed that there was a tight range in between monthly open and quarterly open, and we are trying to break that to the upside. All right, so the quarterly open, that was the 1227, and for now it might looks like we are breaking higher, right? So we are above quarterly open, and of course, as you can see, we are above the monthly open, right? But because of because of the price action from the December, right? The December range might be, from the higher time frame perspective, might be the key here, right? So let me place what was the December open. 1344, 1344, 1344, 1344, 1344. All right, and as you can see, we've been there already. So been tested, the levels been tested, we've been there already. It's gonna be better visible from the weekly perspective. We've been there 2 weeks ago. Strong rejection, retest, attempt to go higher. Now the important thing is where we are going to get that close at the end of the June, right? So for now, looks like bulls are trying to take over. All right, we are above quarterly and monthly open. Looks interesting, right? But the December low, from the monthly perspective, that's the first challenge. The second challenge gonna be yearly open 1463, right? Then we can talk about the reversal from the higher time frame perspective. So let's switch lower here. Oops. Let's switch lower here to the daily, and let's focus on what we might see over the course of the day and tomorrow. Now, if you remember last non-farm payrolls price action, right? So that was, as far as I remember, that was here, right? And it was based, the next move was based on what we've seen here, right? So that was the attempt to the break to the upside on the 20th of March. Once we closed below, after the retest, there was a huge supply, and as you can see, we went lower, right? Now, we were discussing that in that case, after such a low close, the range from the 5th of June with this upper shadow, right, plus the range from that day, 7th of June, are gonna work as a possible supply, right? So taking into the consideration the high here, taking into the consideration what we've seen before, all right, I wouldn't be surprised that the bears will start to fight closer towards 113. All right, I'm not saying that we should buy the dollar. What I'm talking about is that the bulls may face resistance here, right? Of course, if we are going to get closer there, then gonna be much easier to decide what next. What about bulls? We were discussing, as we were covering FOMC live yesterday, we were discussing possible reversal, right? But we had daily close below the Monday high, but above weekly open, right? So really nothing extraordinary, right? But we didn't look back during the Tokyo session, and we are again above Monday open, okay? So let's switch to intraday chart. Let's have a look what we have here. Okay, so right now we are breaking or trying to break above non-farm payrolls rally, right? So what I need here is the latest supply, so the price action around here, around this fall. So let me adjust this yellow intraday supply, and there you go. That's we are testing intraday possible supply, right? And I don't want to chase the prices. So what I'm gonna do on euro dollar, from the bullish perspective, I'm going to watch this Monday high, and as we can see from intraday perspective, some kind of the over under, and we were discussing this during the Tuesday webinar. We are going to discuss it again, going deeper into details during upcoming Tuesday educational webinar, right? So as a bull, I'm looking to buy euro dollar from the intraday perspective on pullback towards 1247, 1210. All right. As a bear, I think we have to switch to the daily. get back to the daily, and I think the bearish activity, we might see bearish activity something around 113 or a little bit above, not earlier. So we have these zones, right? So bulls are looking to buy on the pullback towards 1250, 1245, 1210. Bears are looking to fade current rally above 113 and trying to keep fingers crossed that market will go lower towards end of the week. So we have bullish and bearish scenario on euro dollar. There is real sell-off going on the dollar, and we have a confirmation here from the dollar yen perspective. We are testing 107.50 right now after the Bank of Japan no change announcement, but I would say it's more about dollar than the yen currently. So that's how I see the things. So what we have here, and this one needs to be corrected a bit. All right, so looks like we broke through that flag yesterday, and looks like we wanna see 106.40 at least, right? So what might be the plan here, right? Let's have a look what we have at the very beginning from the bears perspective, or different way how the bears may try to approach the market. So the breakthrough important lows, right? And if we are going to get the close below 4th of January open and 3rd of January close, right? In that case, we are talking about 107.63, and we are currently below that levels, right? We might revisit even 105. So first it's gonna be 106.40, the second 105, and the third psychological 100 level. Of course, we have to be aware about the invisible Bank of Japan hands, but right now, yesterday low, day before, and weekly open, that's the possible supply. So let's switch to the lower time frame. Let's have a look where we are. So the most important thing, we broke through all significant levels, and with a little bit of the adjustment, the prices in between 107.85, 108 as a first significant supply from the intraday perspective. All right, because we are also breaking down out of intraday range. So based on this, we have 106.80 from intraday perspective, still 70 pips to the downside. All right, so what's a possible approach? There are few here. I'm going to watch two levels, and I'm going to try to trade it with caution, of course. So first thing first, I'm going to try to be active as a seller around 107.90, 108 with very tight stop, or in case of the stronger rally, 108.35, 108.30, 35 mid of that broken range. All right. In case of the bullish scenario, I think that only move above weekly open, then eventually some kind of the retest of the half of this range might be used as a eventually buying opportunity, right? Or maybe break through, hold the range, tiny pullback towards the weekly open, and continuation. I can't see here the reason to try to jump in to the long side. So if you are a bull here, you have to wait, you have to be patient. If you are a bear, we might try a bit aggressive approach from the intraday perspective. So again, something around 107.90, 108 first approach. Second approach, something around the mid of that range, mid of that broken range, talking about 108.30, 35. Okay, so that's how I see the things on the dollar yen. Pound dollar, just briefly, because we are going to cover pound during the Bank of England live market coverage later today. Just briefly, all right. Very strong midweek reversal yesterday, continuation today during the Tokyo hours. All right, we are approaching the Frankfurt is open and we are awaiting the London Open. But what is important, we are testing currently the range from 7th of June, right? We are testing currently the range from 11th of June, right? Those two upper days, rising days ahead of the new low, right? So, all right, if you remember on Tuesday, we made a very, very deep analysis, and from intraday perspective, there was a possibility to jump in to the longs without the drawdown to the pip, all right? But that's history. We have to adjust the plan right now. So I'm not gonna be surprised to see some bearish activity around here. I even expect that the Bank of England announcement might be used as an opportunity to manipulate the market, and similar to what we discussed to euro dollar, as a bull I would rather like to buy lower towards Monday high, Monday open. It's also because of what we've seen when we're trying to create this swing low over here. So I do believe some kind of the over-under price action, it's still possible to see here. Bears trying to be active here, right? And as long as we are below 2760, there is a still chance for bears to try to push the prices lower, right? So bears are waiting for a spike higher and trying to trap the bulls, and the bulls are waiting lower down towards 26 level, right? I know it's 100 pips from now, but you have to be patient. From the intraday perspective, we got the confirmation what we are talking about here on the daily, right? The manipulation, latest manipulation here, right? Breakthrough, so drop, base, drop. The middle base been tested, but this biggest manipulation point after we broke through that level yesterday, it has not been tested. So that's my buying zone, right? For now, it might, the things might change, right? The things might change. Now, where, from intraday perspective, where we might expect bearish activity. So I taking into the consideration what we have here. Taking into the consideration what we have here, I'm taking this attempt to break higher. So I'm looking where the latest demand, it was somewhere here. Already been tested once, and we are testing this right now as well. That's the first thing first, right? And of course, market may want to look for liquidity, so stop hunt, and we have two supplies closer to 28 plus the green zone, so supply based on the daily chart. Strong reversal, V formation. Be careful trying to be front runner on the short side. Rather you wanna see some kind of the trap, right? So stop hunt, trap that might end at least temporary the rally, all right? Are we going to see 26? I have no idea, but that's for now, that's the best place to try to hunt for longs. If you like the pound, you may look for opportunity to try to jump in long pound versus euro. And I see here two possibilities from this daily chart perspective. I'm talking about Monday weekly open, right? So in that case, I'm going to look to sell rallies either towards 89.05. In case I'm gonna be stop out, my next interest to the short side is gonna be around Monday, Tuesday high, and we discussed why, right? If you don't know what I'm talking about, please visit Light Forex YouTube channel archive section and find our latest webinar from last Tuesday. You're going to get the idea what we are talking about. Where can we expect some bullish activity? I think let's clean some stuff. I think that the low from the very beginning of the June, we are talking about the 88.30, somewhere here and here. That's where we may expect some bullish activity, but I think we haven't tested this manipulation point, and I think that might be the target. So look for a little bit of the rally and continuation to the downside on the euro pound. But we are going to discuss the pound opportunities during the Bank of England live market coverage. There is an important development on the gold, and let's have a look for a second. There is a attempt to break on the monthly chart very significant levels we have here. We are talking about the high from the 1st of July 2016, and it's 1375. So let's place the line and another significant level is the high from August 2013. Plus the swing high which been created here. 1423.48. Okay. So it's really all about next few days, right? Bulls looks like trying to use the opportunity of the breakout of the previous highs, right? So here 400 level might be taken out. What if we are going to go above 1425, 1430, right? I think from the monthly perspective, the zone over here, which has not been tested yet from the monthly perspective, might be taken into the consideration. So really significant developments are going on here on the gold. So 1,500 might be the target. Might be the target. Let's have a look and check one more thing. That was the strong reversal. In case of, there you go, 1,500 might be here. So looks like right now, let's switch lower. Let's switch to the daily. So I've been wrong with this megaphone over here, strong break to the upside. Actually, it's hard to say I've been wrong because we had the opportunity to trade out eventually, right, with these upper shadows, and finally we broke through that. So I'm going to delete these lines right now. So where eventually right now we can expect some bullish activity. So we broke through this previous highs, right from the daily. So what we wanna see, daily close twice in a row above this zone, then pull back into that and continuation to the upside. That should be that easy. So really significant development on the gold here. There is also significant development on the Nasdaq, and there was a supply reaction yesterday. There was a supply reaction day before during the cash market, what is important from my perspective. But right now there is some manipulation going on. After market, post market, we broke through that supply, and I'm very interesting where we are going to end the day today, right? Because we are shy away from the new high. Okay, so the range from 3rd of May right now, it's very important. All right guys, that's it from me this Thursday morning. Be careful, don't be trapped, don't try to chase the market. That's the most important thing. Try to use the pullbacks as a buying opportunity, or try to, within the downtrend, try to use the rallies as a selling opportunity. So think we have few interesting plans. Think we have the levels from both bulls and bears perspective on few interesting charts. Just create the plan and follow the plan. Again, 12:45 p.m. CET, 15 minutes ahead of the Bank of England announcement. You are more than welcome to join me. I'm going to cover this event live here on Light Forex Global YouTube channel. See you around. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of the day. Take care. Goodbye.